Before I break down what happened, for those of you who do know what has happened with this situation, is this the outcome you really wanted? Did you truly want this outcome? Because I am sure most people do not want this outcome. Let me give you a life lesson. Humans like authenticity. They don't like people being fake or incongruent, inauthentic. They like people being real. It's great. It means you're not an NPC, okay? Guys, don't be an NPC, alright? When you speak in PR talk, like Phil Spencer, how I made so many videos about Microsoft and Phil Spencer, because it's just so PR talk. It's not real. It's not from the heart. It's how can we not piss off the masses and sell products to them while not triggering them? It's fake. You know they don't mean it. And that's why people see through them and they don't like them. And they know what the company and Microsoft is really about. They're not about helping the customers. They're about money. So I'll get into the video now, the news, the real news. The Helldivers 2 community had a little trigger moment with a couple developers from Arrowhead Studios, the studio behind Helldivers 2, because of something a couple developers said, I believe on Reddit. And some people, who I believe is the silent minority, flipped out because they thought it was wrong, inappropriate, gaslighting. They got mad, and now that developer had to come out and apologize. It's so annoying. It's such an annoying situation. Do you want Arrowhead, a developer, a studio who is for the people? Do you want them to turn into Microsoft? Do you want them to be pure PR, fake talk? Do you want that? Do you even want microtransactions now? You want the game to be $70, have a deluxe edition, microtransactions, release a broken product not finished. You want that too? If the developers are engaging with the community and talking to you like they're your buddies, just roasting you a little bit, be happy about that. Don't complain about that. Why do you want more developers who just hide behind their computer? They don't engage with the community or anything. I swear, like, some of you guys, man, you just don't have any social skills whatsoever, and you just complain about everything. Everything offends you. And now a situation like this, where we had finally a great developer like Arrowhead, because there aren't many of these developers, like CD Projekt Red people loved until they released Cyberpunk, and now Arrowhead people love, and now you're making them go back into their shells and hide from you because you guys got butthurt super quick and you turned on them super quick. It shows your loyalty to dedicated developers who are for the community. It just angers me so much. So I'll get into the news here and I'll read through it and give my closing thoughts on this. So here on PCGamer.com, Helldivers 2 boss apologizes for horrible dev comments. Says Arrowhead has taken action internally to educate our developers. Oh my gosh, like, it's not horrible, and now they have to get educated. So, conversations about the recent balance patch turned heated after Helldivers 2 developers responded dismissively to player complaints. Alright, so they released their first patch, and the community had a response to these patches, so we'll get into it right here. The first Helldivers 2 balance patch went live recently, and it hasn't gone over well with some players. Those embers of discontent were fanned by a few members of the Helldivers team. A moderator on the game's Discord server, for instance, said, "Watching you all cry amuses me so much," while another said on Reddit that complaints about weapon nerfs were perhaps in reality a question of skill issue. So, watching you all cry amuses me so much. That is based, and that is hilarious. He's just having fun roasting you. Don't take so much offense to that. It's funny. And then the other one saying, maybe you complaining about the weapon nerf, it's not so much that the weapon sucks as you're just not good. That's funny too. They wouldn't release a patch that makes the game impossible to beat now. You can still beat it with those weapons, but you need to have more skill, alright? I can't stand an easy game. More difficult games is always more fun. So those were the two main things that were said that people had an issue with. In response to complaints to these comments, including one developer's self-confessed trolling, which he said, yeah, I was trolling. Not a big deal, guys. Arrowhead Game CEO Johan Pilestead, the de facto public face of the studio, has taken to Reddit to tell the community that this is not a message that the studio stands behind. Oh god, we're already in the PR talk. Is this what you want? Is this what you guys want? This is not a message that the studio stands behind. I don't want that fake talk. And the steps are being taken to ensure it doesn't happen again. To my reading, it comes off as developers trying to have a little fun with the community. Yes, they're having fun with you, guys. Just a bit of good-natured ribbing and trash talking, but a vocal corner of the Helldivers 2 community, Reddit, didn't take it that way. Yeah, and I guarantee it wasn't a majority. I guarantee it was a minority. And it led to a blow-up on the Helldivers subreddit as players accused Arrowhead of, for instance, gaslighting and demeaning the player base. They're not demeaning, and gaslighting is just... Really, they say something that's gaslighting you to ruin your whole day. Some of the replies from developers did go a little far. I'm feeding the rage a little for my own entertainment here, just so you know, one wrote, seemingly acknowledging and dismissing the upset amongst the community. So he says, I'm feeding the rage a little for my own entertainment. Yeah, imagine if your friend said that, like, yeah, I'm just messing with you to get you mad, haha. It's not a big deal. It's just, you don't know the developer personally, so you can't, since you don't know him personally, you can't understand that it's a joke. So he then went on to say the balance patch made 2 of the most brainless playstyles less viable, which, no surprise here, didn't go over seemingly well. So they took out a playstyle that they deemed as brainless and a cheap way to beat the mission. And yeah, said it's brainless, and we fixed that. And I guess some people did not like that. The developer in question later apologized, saying he went a little far with the trolling and that he wouldn't be engaging with the community any further. So good job right there. I would not be engaging with the community any further. You ruined it, guys. You ruined it. Not all you, the ones who are complaining. You ruined it. And so he's saying he went a little too far. He doesn't believe that. He knows what he was doing. He was just told to say that by his higher ups. I figured I'd have a little fun with the players, but I realized being a dev, I'm in an unfair position, he wrote. When he says I wanted to have a little fun with the players. He wanted to engage with you guys. But being a dev, I'm in an unfair position means it's inappropriate. He's saying, I guess it was inappropriate for me to say something like that because I'm a dev, I'm not a player. Maybe this isn't going to mend anything with you, but at least I feel I should own up to it and apologize. I'm sorry. All right, but that didn't calm the waters, and it didn't calm the waters because they know it's inauthentic. They know he's just being told to say that. This is what I was saying earlier in the video. Players on Reddit roundly rejected the apology and continued to complain that Arrowhead simply wasn't taking them seriously. Finally, Pilestead, a regular presence on social media himself, stepped in. Since I am a heavy subscriber of a communicative studio, it means that I encourage developers to engage with the community. Good job, yeah, that's great. He also wrote, however, this also exposes us to risks of miscommunication or heated arguments, and it's something that we actively discuss internally at the studio to improve on. Guys, I promise you, those communications and discussions at the studio were... Yeah, we have a lot of people in the gaming community who just have no social skills and are artistic, and they're just going to take offense to everything, and they're going to blow up online about things online. So a mixture of people who have nothing better to do, who are autistic and no social skills and have the internet, anything you say online that might be 1% too far, they're going to take it and blow it up. We cannot engage with them now. So good job. Studio improve on, yeah. While I understand that it reflects on the studio as a whole, it is not our intention that this should be the behavior from us. We want to ensure that you all have the best time possible in this game and this community. In separate follow-up posts, Pilestead described some of the developer statements on Reddit and Discord as horrible and inexcusable behavior, and said that Arrowhead has taken action internally to educate our developers on how to represent the organization. It wasn't horrible and it wasn't inexcusable. So he says, this is not a message that the studio stands behind. We are always working to make as an enjoyable experience and community that we can. He also briefly touched on the complaints about the balance patch. We actively read as much as we possibly can and take what is said into consideration when we discuss things internally. Right now, the hot topic is your guys' feedback and response to the balance adjustments and the feeling of the game experience at large. One facet fueling these prickly exchanges in Helldivers 2's mixed status, it's not a competitive game like League of Legends or Counter-Strike 2, but a cooperative game where players are being prompted by the studio to wage narrativized battles and complete a number of objectives by a certain date. As PC Gamer editor Morgan Park pointed out in his opinion piece, Helldivers 2 players are arguing over playing casually or sticking to the meta, and they're both right. So there's a meta, like there are certain weapons and strategies you should use, and some players just want to play it casually. There should be a balance. Like, in my opinion, I think you should be able to play, I don't know, I mean, I feel like every strategy you should be able to win with, even if it's a less effective strategy. Like League of Legends, the meta is these champions are S tier, then they make a patch, now they're C tier, but these B tier champions are now S tier, so they're in the meta. They're the champions to use. You should be able to win in League of Legends with whatever champion you use. It's just now with the meta, if it's a meta game, it makes it difficult to accomplish what you need to accomplish with certain strategies or characters. So yeah, they're arguing whether you should be able to win with any playstyle. And maybe that is why they're complaining about the nerfing of the weapons, because they took out that playstyle, but the developers feel like it's a brainless playstyle. And now players are saying we should be able to play like that if we want. It's a bit surprising to see Pilestead so quickly and completely throw his developers under the bus, but it seems to have had the desired effect. Yeah, it is kind of crap how he just completely throws them under the bus. I think those developers that he has are more valuable than a few triggered customers who already bought the game. Some players are now riffing on his educate our developers comment in the context of the game's narrative. That's funny. In which potentially disloyal or subversive citizens are sent to freedom camps. Oh my gosh. Yes, in the game you're sent to freedom camps, and then it's funny how the developer of this game says, oh, we're sending our developers to education meetings. And others have even defended the position taken by the Helldivers 2 developer at the center of the controversy. Like, I'm one of them. Although not necessarily the way he expressed it, as one put it, the unfortunate part is that he was right in what he was saying. He just was a dick about how he was saying it. So he's right, he could have said it nicer, because he's considering the community as on his side and his friends, so he thought he could just be a little roasty, but I guess not. So even so, it's interesting to see how quickly some of the sentiment has turned on Arrowhead, which has thus far enjoyed a remarkably durable honeymoon period despite significant problems with Helldivers 2 at launch. Server problems in particular kept large swaths of players from being able to get into the game, but fans stuck with it regardless, to the extent that one industry analyst said the game's trending bucking sales made him feel like Steve Irwin sighting a rare bird. Whether this uproar has any lasting impact on that goodwill remains to be seen, but it's definitely a lesson. Communication is great, but sometimes these things are best left to the pros. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Communication is great, but sometimes these things are best left to the pros. What pros? Like Phil Spencer, the bullshitter? I think communication is great and people shouldn't get so mad so quick. My saying is, this is why we can't have nice things. Developers partaking in the community on the Discord and the Reddit is a nice thing, and now we don't have it anymore. As he said, he will no longer be communicating to us anymore. This is why we can't have nice things, because people get triggered. Oh gosh, so annoying. So that's it. for the article. So yeah, what do you guys think? You can comment down below. Do you think what he said was going too far? Do you think it wasn't going too far? Do you think I'm an idiot defending him? Do you think I should be canceled, me and my 100 subscribers? Yeah, so comment down below. Feel free to like, subscribe. Yeah, very interesting. People shouldn't get mad when developers want to be real and not fake PR faces. That's my take on it. See you guys in the next video.